It's time for the John and Rick Show. The John and Rick Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Are you ready? Let's go!
All right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode. Hey, Rick.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great.
I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on? Anything new?
You haven't talked to me in a while. We text all the time.
Oh, okay. As a normal, have you picked anything up?
Always picking stuff up. You
I
too.
know. Me too. So I picked up a few things. I've showed you that future videos, and we'll maybe do those things too. And we're going to show some cards today. I know that later on. A lot of people
Yes,
don't
for sure.
show cards,
For
but
sure.
we're going to show cards.
Before we delve in, I seem to always have cards coming. When I got back into the hobby back in 2014, it's just been pretty steady. Do you have cards that come in on a very consistent basis?
No, not really. Not really. Because I'm mostly auction houses, big boy cards now than actually just getting I don't know, just the way I collect now.
How many cards do you think you get average per month?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
That's all.
That's
all.
still pretty steady, though.
Yeah, it's steady. When I was trying to build my Hall of Fame run, then I would get constantly cards in, and try to hide them from the wife. The packages, like what? Because it wasn't consistent, and here I'm getting almost daily, packages.
It almost becomes embarrassing. Sometimes I'm embarrassed to show my face to my post lady.
I know, and they know me by first. I know every post person. What their hours are when they show up. The person that fills in for the other person.
Yep, me too.
They asked, "Hey, can I just sign the Sure, just sign it."
I had a mail lady, and she would come like at 5:30, 6 o'clock every day. And I'd be like, this is ridiculous. I got to wait all day.
Yeah.
So somebody new took over for her. She retired. And they'd come before, like by 11 o'clock in the morning. And I asked her one day, I'm like, why do you come so early? I used to get my mail so late. And she said, that's odd because you're early in the route. I guess my mail lady, according to her, reversed the route. Maybe she lived around here and wanted to end,
sure,
here or something like that. So I was pretty excited. Then I got several other ones. I got one dude, and he just wanted to talk to me about my cards. Every time he'd deliver a package, if I had to sign or something, he would want to talk cards because he saw me getting all these packages and knew what I was getting. And then I had a new guy take over, and he wanted to talk cards too. It's pretty funny. And now I have a new woman that's been here for a while, and I know her schedule. On Mondays, she must be backed up because she'll come between 5 and 6. Yeah, and then all other days, she usually gets here, by about 1:30ish. So, yeah, we get their schedules down. They become part of the family when they're delivering our cards all the time, right?
Definitely. And then if the guy's on vacation, sometimes they'll have a person that will deliver the mail, but then come back and drop off the packages to me. It won't be the same time.
Yeah.
So then I go out, right? What the heck? I'm supposed to get a package, and it's a new person or whatever. And he's no, it's coming. I just do it differently than the other person. That type of thing,
Yeah, it comes like that. If you have priority, they have a different delivery than regular mail.
Yeah, and I give up.
We're going to get more into mail later. Yeah. What's funny is my post people, they don't even make me sign for packages usually. Yeah. Like they just deliver them.
Same thing.
I know I was out of town one Saturday, and I'm like, oh darn, I'm getting this, and I have to sign for it. I came home, it was sitting there.
Yeah, same thing. A guy goes, "Hey, do you just want me to?" Yeah, just sign it. I know it's been delivered, and I give him a gift card for Christmas and things like that, just to
Yeah, my first mail lady when I was here, I don't know if she didn't try, but I would open the door and I'd have my mailbox door, and there would be a slip, tried to deliver
Yeah,
no one home. And I'm like, I've been here all day. I work from home. Nobody knocked on my door or anything.
exactly.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
that used to drive me
it's
crazy.
funny how once you start getting these packages, I never really paid attention to the mail person years
Right.
past, but now it's like do I hear them? Do I hear the truck? That type
Well,
of thing.
when I first started, getting packages again, when I got back into the hobby in 2014, they were all kind of packages that would come on Sunday. And I'm like, when did the post people start delivering on Sundays? And that was pretty awesome. But then during COVID, that stopped and never came back.
Yeah, yeah. Just how funny times have changed. Yeah.
So, so what's on your mind today? What do you want to get into
well,
first?
on the 19th, I'm not sure what day. Well, it depends on what day people watch this video. But on September 19th is my 6-year anniversary on YouTube. My first video.
Congratulations.
6 years. It's pretty incredible, actually, when you think about it. I think everyone thinks this way. Is like, you're going to start out making videos. Who knows? Might be 110, but 6 years, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a long time to be doing something. And on YouTube, as far as YouTube years go, you're like 97.
I
It's like
know.
dog years.
I know. People come and go, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at my channels who's sub to me. I haven't done that in years, just to go back and see some of these. And they're not making videos anymore, and kind of it's a bummer. But
Yeah. I know there are some people, LA Collection, for instance,
yes,
used to do steady videos. He's still very much in the hobby. He just doesn't do
sure,
videos anymore.
sure.
Joey Brings It was an old
Joey
school
brings it.
channel.
Yes, autographs, man. He was into brilliant autographs.
Yeah, you just don't see some of the old channels. They just went by the wayside. I don't know if some of them, well, we know some of them passed away, unfortunately.
Sure.
I love sports. What was it? I love sports cards, or I
Yeah.
love baseball cards.
Yes.
Had diabetes real bad.
I
There,
mean,
there have been several.
it's not easy, It really. I mean, to do it for 6 years or 7 years or even 3 years, it's a commitment. But you have to enjoy it. That's the number one thing. If you don't enjoy it, I'm sure a lot of these people are saying, you know what, I still enjoy collecting cards, but don't really enjoy making videos. And there's other ways to celebrate or enjoy cards besides making
Yeah, and
videos.
I mean, when I started, I never said to myself, okay, I'm going to put out a video so often, or
Yeah,
I have this schedule, or this is what I'm going to do. I just get on and share cards when I feel like it.
sure.
Now, you'll bust my chops because I feel like it a lot, and I put out a lot of videos. But I never went into it with any kind of game plan or business plan or anything like that. I
No.
just do them when I want to do them. Sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's at night, sometimes it's in the morning. It's just whenever I feel like doing it.
Yeah, same thing here, which is I just don't feel like doing it too often nowadays. So I try to do something once every week or two. Now that we're doing this weekly, so I don't need to come up with something. I enjoy doing it. I'm just lazy. I mean, bottom line is, I mean, after I do it and it's out there and people are commenting, I always think, God, I should do more of these.
Yeah. Well, that
That type of thing.
interaction gets
Yeah,
addicting. I'll
for
put out a
sure.
video, let's say like Friday night, I'll put one out before I go to happy hour with my wife, and then I'm monitoring the comments because
Yeah.
I'll get the notifications pop up, and it drives her crazy because
Oh, yeah.
we're having drinks or dinner, and every once in a while, I because I like to respond to people.
Sure. You see it and you want to answer back or respond to someone. My wife's the same way, man. Can you put the phone down? Can you put the phone down? So I'm like, so I always set myself up on I set myself at a dinner table somewhere at a restaurant where she's kind of facing the other way, not facing whatever angle, and I can
Yeah,
go like, what's going on?
I get excited if I have to use the restroom or she
Yeah.
does. Then I'm
Yeah,
free.
exactly.
I can hurry up and respond to a few.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was telling you, I was at a wedding, whatever. I comment about something the other day, and I'm down below, and texting, that
Yeah.
type of thing. And So anyway,
Y-
but
Yeah.
yeah.
So how do you think YouTube? How do you think the channels have changed since you first came on?
Well, when and I've told this story a million times, and not that it saved my life, but I had a neck surgery, and I was in one of those things like this for
Yeah.
3 months,
Oh,
and I
brutal.
could only go like this, and I was afraid to do anything,
Yeah.
wise. So I was in one of those, and the first week after this, the next day I had the surgery. I was on a bunch of medications, and I get out of the hospital on Saturday, and I tell my wife, you know what? I'm going to still go to the 49er game the next day. She said, no, you're not. No, you're not. And then the next day, once everything wore off, I was in so much friggin' pain, and I couldn't sleep at night. And you go on your phone, and I didn't even know these videos people did cards or anything. And what, the card channel? So I started all night long. I'm watching Mike O, Baseball Collector, Alico 3, whatever I can find. And I was just
Yeah.
like mesmerized by all this stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. It could be modern, whatever. And I just kind of got hooked, because it's someone to communicate, at least through a video. I don't know these people at all. It seems like I know them after a while, but I really don't know them. But I was hooked after that.
Well, you hit on something. When we all roomed together at my first national Atlantic City, I had never met any of you other than I met Lou and I met Don. Don was swinging by and he came, and Lou, of course, I met down in Tampa. But that was it. They were the only two. And when we went there, and not only the people that we roomed with, but all the people that came to visit and everything, it was like I've known them my whole life because I had been
Exactly.
watching their videos. They were just like they seemed on video. It's kind of strange that way.
Yeah, definitely. And even when you go to the National Now, people come up to you, and you don't know who they are because they just comment on videos.
Yeah.
But they come up like they know me personally through the channel.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. And they know all about me. Well, card wise or whatever, and they think it's just kind of interesting because even when I first started and my first national and I met these people, I thought I knew them, just like you're saying, and they have no idea who I am, but I know them through the YouTube.
Yeah, at this national, I had two long time subscribers, two of my early subscribers, and they're always been supportive and they're always commenting. And I never met them. I had no idea what they looked like.
Yeah.
And they both came up and introduced themselves in Chicago, Wrigley Regular
Yes.
and Don Hamlin. And that was so nice after all these years to put faces with
Yeah.
the names.
Yeah. Wrigley Regular, we talked in the lobby
Yeah.
there. He and I actually went to my first video and he commented on my first video, which is kind of cool. My very
Yeah.
first. It was kind of cool to go back. You might want to, I don't know if you've done that, your very first video, to see who actually commented on
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I
yeah.
never go back and look at my old videos, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, just to see who was back then commenting, who's still
Well,
active.
actually, I have gone back to share, like I do throwbacks where
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back because nobody ever looks at your old ones.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll think of a video I did and I'll be like, I'm going to share that. Like there's something going on and maybe it's relevant or something. And I have seen commenters then, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot about this person.
Yeah, they go, Rick, great job, great first video, or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah, there are some commenters that go away too that you got used to seeing all the time.
Yeah, I recognize, or some I don't. God, man, it's been years since I saw this person comment. So, and then sometimes, I go and see like
you probably got them upset for something.
Yeah,
you triggered them.
It's funny is I do not get too many. Very rarely do I get a negative. Maybe they think this guy doesn't know what he's talking. He's old. What am I gonna? He's twice as old as I am. I'm not gonna elder. I'm not gonna. But I really don't fire too many people up. I don't know. What can I tell you?
Yeah,
No,
I
you get a
mean,
bunch of.
it depends on the content. Like if you give your opinion, people get all fired up, no matter what that opinion is. And there are some people that are just so damn rude, and I just block those kinds of people, so I don't have to see their comments
Yeah.
anymore.
But that's a good thing. I mean, for me, mostly I don't do rant. I mean, do off air. I do a bunch of rants, but
Well,
on air,
you know what though, Rick? I'll do just opinion
yeah,
videos or opinion, get you thinking about what's going on in a hobby, just what's on my mind. And people will say, nice rant or this. And I'm like, this wasn't a rant.
yeah,
If you think this is a rant, you've never gone out to happy hour with me and Lou and James and
yeah,
gotten
yeah.
to do a debate with me. This is not a rant. It's just my opinion. I'm not raising my voice. I'm not talking bad about anyone. That's not my idea of a rant anyway. It's just an opinion piece to me.
Sure, sure, sure. But I mean, nowadays, I mean, back then, so there wasn't, to me, there wasn't a lot of pre-war people showing pre-war channels or mostly pre-war content. You know,
Yes.
you had Dave Blue Jacket 66, which I was mesmerized when I saw his first video.
Yeah, for sure.
I made a list here. Josh J. Stottlemyre 1. Doesn't make videos as much now, but back then he was more into the hobby, and he was a big Ruth collector. Maxa Jackson, Enough Said Cards.
Yeah.
Andrew. But there wasn't there wasn't a lot. To me, it wasn't a lot. So when I entered showing some of my cards, like I'm going to show you one today, it comes with, we're going to later on talk about the W517 set. I showed this card on my very first video, and a lot of people never seen that card before. But nowadays, if I show it, I'm sure most of the people that follow our channels or other.
Oh, you cut out. Did you get a call again?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said you had cut out.
Yeah, somebody tried calling. How do you zap that out? What do you do on something like that? Is there
I
a way
don't know. I
just
know.
push,
You just got to
decline or
dismiss it
whatever.
right away.
Yeah, I tried. I'm sorry. Yeah, so somebody tried. That's why my hands going up there trying to. But it's kind of so when I got into the hobby, it was great for me for my channel because I'm showing stuff that people have never shown before.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people show a lot of stuff that I've pre-war type cards, and I give you credit, Dave credit, people that were showing these things, and nowadays people collect these things. You know, they watch our channels and they want to get involved with pre-war. So I give a lot of these older collectors, I guess, a pat on my back too. Is you see these things and you learn about them, and maybe you want to collect some pre-war stuff. But that wasn't the case. I don't know. Was that your thinking too? Is when you first got in, did you see a lot of pre-war channels?
Well, I didn't really think about it too much at the time, but now that you mention it, yes, you're right. I did not. And I think that's maybe why I gained a little traction amongst the vintage community is because the first cards I was showing were my T205s, 33 DeLongs, 33 Tattoo Orbits, the 38 Gaudy Heads Up, my E cards, a lot of cutout cards, and a lot of people would comment that they didn't see those before, and I remember being surprised, as somebody who had collected a long time and had always been into those sets and got the Burt Randolph Sugar books, as a kid. I just thought everybody was familiar with those types of cards. But now, everybody's showing this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the evolution of the hobby. And I like to think that, we have all of us on YouTube, all of us content creators have helped in that to educate people more. There are certainly people, certainly collectors that knew about those sets, but as you know, there were a lot of new collectors coming into the hobby, and I'm sure they didn't know about those sets.
Yeah, regional issues too, and
the Oxford confectionaries, I was showing those, and the Willard chocolate, and a lot of people have never seen those cards.
Exactly. So it kind of got our channels a head start a little bit. because it's sure not my channel production value or anything like that. You know, I'm not the most.
It's all about the cards, Rick.
It's all about the cards, and but now, you know, people do. I'm kind of happy. You know, it's kind of cool that that people show these things. They're it's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? Do you ever feel like everybody caught you? You know, caught you with collecting?
Yeah.
Because there were so few people that had those cards when I started, and now it seems like everybody has them.
Yeah, it's funny because you know, back when this YouTube Hall of Fame thing started, you know, it was only only had to wait 1 year, make content for 1 year, and so I got in my first year, and it's because it wasn't again my. You know, it was just basically showing cards that people have never seen before, and they voted me in after the first year.
I was like 1 year and 3 weeks when I got voted in, something like that.
And all these, you know, and I didn't deserve you know, these people have been doing it for years. I was just showing stuff that people have never seen before, and they decided, hey, what the hell?
I felt the same way. I did not feel deserving.
But yeah, so anyway, so back then it was more collector based, basically videos. People would show cards, talk about cards. There was some grading reveals, but it wasn't like oh man, PSA.
Oh, it wasn't like now.
PSA screwed me. SGC, I'm gonna crack this out, send it somewhere else, or I don't like the color of this, you know, the slab in this thing or that thing, or this is a fake, or it was more like just, hey, I got an order in and this is what I got. And it had nothing to really do with I don't remember, maybe it did, but prices weren't like, oh, you know, what
I don't remember anybody talking prices back then. But you know, it's a new thing. Cards are now asset classes, and when they go up to a certain point, if you need money, if you're not well-to-do, you're almost stupid not to sell, because they're just outrageously priced, and they could change your life. So, and then you have the situation where all the dream cards have gone so high that they're unattainable unless you sell off stuff to get them. So you have a lot of that going on. It's just it's a totally different hobby, man. I don't even recognize it from pre-COVID.
Yeah. And then you have, because back then there was no StreamYard. So basically it was just commenting on other people's videos.
Well, I think there was, because I remember early on, that at least in 2019 probably is my first recollection of people going live.
Okay.
And I remember feeling kind of left out. I'd be like, oh, that'd be cool to go live. But I didn't know anybody. Nobody was inviting me, you know?
Yeah. I didn't text anyone. There have been, I don't know, 19, 20, 21. I really didn't even text anyone, you know? I didn't communicate with people by text.
I don't even know how we got everybody's number, because it's not like you publish it anywhere on YouTube. So somebody gets the number, and then you reach out to them, and they're like, hey, here's Rick's number. And before you know it, you have half the YouTubers' phone numbers in your phone, and you're texting all the time.
I didn't text you or text. It was when the Misfits started. You know, Don got us all the place, and then we all had each other's number, and that's how I text you. I never text. I don't think I text you before. Maybe not. I don't know, but
yeah, I don't remember.
But nowadays, now it's everyone texts everyone. I get you know, we're all in different group chats. You know, it's constantly
It blows my mind how long ago that Atlantic City National was already.
Yeah.
I mean, this was my 4th national already. Atlantic City was my first.
Hey, when the older you get, the time flies.
Oh,
I tell you.
Every year it goes faster, man.
Oh my God. I mean, we have a gardener that comes every Friday. I swear he came yesterday. You know, time goes by so fast.
Thank God it doesn't feel like you're waiting that long to get your cards when they have to go off to authentication.
Yeah, there you go. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, so it's, I mean, for good or bad, you know, people do they collect and do videos differently, so which is fine. Everyone has their little niche, and now it seems to be more driven by money, like you're saying, because cards are more valuable. It has to do with more complaining or about grading, or even other people's channels, or people critique even some people's channels, just not even the content, like they're saying they're boring or this, that. There's a specific guy that
welcome to social media. Everybody's a freaking critic.
yeah, and it's like and most people doing
I don't
it
understand why you can't just move on, unsubscribe, not subscribe to begin with if you don't like somebody. I mean, that's what I do.
yeah,
I don't go on their channel and tell them they're ugly and
yeah.
comment on their looks and they need to step up their videos. It's boring. The comments I get, shit like that.
Exactly. I mean, 99% of these people like us, we're just doing it for fun. We're not
right.
There's no production. I mean, we like even this. Hey, what do you want to talk about this week? That time we text once, and then when do you want to do it? And then we start. We don't get involved with any of this.
Well,
other
we
nonsense.
do it for fun and to be involved in the community, to talk cards. I am addicted. I've gotten addicted to looking at YouTube videos, and I'm constantly looking for new stuff to watch. And Rick, it's getting fewer and fewer and fewer. The content creators I really like, they seem to be uploading less and less. Not all of them. Some of them are very steady, but many of them I barely see anymore. And the stuff that's being, the newer stuff, I mean, I can't even stomach to watch it. So I need to find something else to pass my time other than constantly updating YouTube looking for something to watch, because it's getting a little frustrating.
After 6 years, I pretty much, I don't know if there can change really, because I've been on it pretty much every day. I've seen someone's video for 6 straight years.
Yeah,
and I've seen.
Yeah, me too.
And it just gets kind of stale. It's tough to. I'm sure people watch us going, "Hey, I've seen these guys a million times," and they're not going to watch it.
Oh yeah, of course. And I try to keep it interesting, because many of us will, over time, you show the same cards over and over again because people aren't watching your videos from 6 years ago. So if you showed a card or a set back then, it's like, well, I haven't shown this in a while. Let me show this again. And you have a whole new audience because you're always getting new subscribers. But I try to tell a story with it about the set, or tie it to another card or something new I learned about the player, because just looking, hey, this is a 1987, whoever. I mean, that gets very stale and old. That's not fun to watch after 6 years of watching it. And there's got to be something else with it.
Yeah, and a lot of people. There's so many channels now, and people copy another person's. Like if somebody are we in a boom?
Yeah.
So there's 20 videos, people coming out. Are we in a boom? Yes, no.
And the funniest thing is none of them know. So, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, there might be a card that's.
I invest in the stock market. These talking heads have been telling me we were in a boom for the last 15 years. Thank God I didn't listen to them.
So, people copy.
Bubble is such an overused term. It's just an overused term. Yeah. And they were talking about this a few years ago, and then there was a little downturn in the cards, and they're like, oh, it burst, or did it burst? And nothing burst, man. It just took a little sabbatical. You have a little correction, just like you have in the stock market. In the stock market, there have only been a handful of crashes, true crashes, ever. There's just a lot of corrections. That's just what happens. It's the ebbs and flows of life, the ebbs and flows of investments. That's just what happens. But crashes, they're rare. They're very rare. 2001, 2008, the Great Depression. Most what people may call a crash, like the October of 1987, it came right back. That ended up being a correction. It just, when it happens in one day, even COVID, COVID felt awful. The stock market collapsed, but it came right back. To me, that's not a collapse. A collapse is like 2008, where it goes down and stays there for a long period of time.
Yeah. And then, like when I first started, I was talking about, having this neck surgery, and I said it almost saved my life because I was in so much pain watching these videos. I met so many friends. It's incredible. I don't need my own friends I grew up with. I talk to you guys 10 times more than I talk to these guys. And this is the best thing I ever did, socially, is getting on YouTube, making videos, and I enjoy it so much. And
I agree 100% from a collecting standpoint, and just from a life standpoint, because when you get older, I don't know about you, but when you hit that period where everybody's having babies and getting married, certain people start to fall out of your life a little bit because,
sure.
like, I didn't have my own kids, so my friends that had kids, they start hanging out with their kids' friends' parents,
Sure.
and they have that in common, and I don't want to hang out with a bunch of kids all the time at happy hour. So, and they're not going to happy hour or whatever. And so, I have the friends I have, I'm very close to. They're like,
sure.
my brothers and sisters, but I don't have tons of close friends. I have lots of acquaintances.
Sure.
And now, since YouTube, I have so many close friends that I text and talk with on a regular basis, go to card shows with, meet up with. And, I make a trip to Tampa just to hang out with Lou and Rachel and everybody else that's down there, because there's so many people close there, and it's an easy drive for me. And it's changed my life too.
I know. I mean, I don't, because I was like you're saying, my son's 30 now. So all the people that, I was interacting with, their kids are grown up now. And it's just, we kind of separated apart, and I'm more like a hermit,
Yeah.
You want to go to a movie? Nah.
Well, that happens too as you get older. People don't want to leave the house anymore.
You kind of get in a rut.
And how about during COVID when we were all locked in? Thank God for YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God for YouTube during that period.
So, but I'm here. So it's changed for, I don't know, good or not, the way the content is, and you can pick and choose what you want to watch. There's a ton of channels, and I just hope we're going to do a deep dive into the W517. I want people to do more deep dives in. It doesn't have to be it could be modern, something I want to learn.
Yeah, I want to learn too.
Another 52 mantle.
I love watching the videos where there's some little tidbit about a player. I might be familiar with that player my whole life and know a lot about him, but I didn't know that tidbit, and I store those away because you can't educate yourself too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but people don't enjoy that. I totally understand. There's a niche for.
Yeah, not everybody wants to learn. I get that. They want to be entertained. But, that's the thing about YouTube. There's something for everyone.
Exactly.
So the stuff that I absolutely hate, there are people that wake up every morning and they can't wait to watch that stuff, and they'd never watch us. Yeah. To each his own. That's the wonderful thing about YouTube. You have variety. You can pick and choose what you want to watch. That's why I don't understand why you have to stop and leave hate comments. Just go watch something you want to watch.
Yeah. I don't even know how many people viewed my last video. I'm at the point 6 years. I make a video. I make it for myself, make it to interact with my friends in the hobby. And it is what it is,
And there is a whole subsection or section of YouTube content that's the whole thing. It's talking about other people, talking about other content creators.
Yeah.
That's kind of newer.
Yeah.
You would get that a little bit. That was kind of born during COVID with a lot of the new hype channels.
Yeah.
Back when you were talking about when we started and so forth, I never saw any of that.
Yeah.
Never. There might have been like somebody puts out an opinion video and there are reactions to that of people respectfully disagreeing and giving their reasons why. But I never saw people going at each other's throats and, really a lot of this hate stuff towards other people.
Yeah. Well, that's society nowadays too. So maybe
That's society nowadays. I mean, you look around at everything that goes on in the world. There's a lot of bad human beings, and trolls are among them. And I always tell my wife and my daughter, I'm like, you don't have to be friends with everybody. There are a lot of bad people in the world. I don't need to be friends with them all. You know, I try to pick and choose. I want good people around me. You know, good people.
yeah.
I don't need to be friends with everybody.
So I guess we're half.
Yeah,
out.
let's get into the 517.
All right.
So you're somewhat of an expert on this set.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know that much about it. I mean, I collect them, and I've noticed there's. I wanted to start off and ask you about this right off the bat. So I've noticed there's a few different shades,
Yes.
right? Like you have the blackish. I call it black.
Okay.
And then you have like the tan.
Yep.
And the tans, they come in kind of different shades, I think. They don't all look exactly the same to me. Some of them look crisper. And then you have kind of a bluish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more blue than the black. Like if I could show them side by side. What do you know about the different colors of these? First off.
So I mean, I think they are meant. Most of them are like a sepia type color, like a brownish type color. But there's red, yellow, blue, brown, green, and I think it's just basically the production, the print. There was no reason like we're going to do a certain amount of for this player to be blue, or I think it was just when they different times when they printed those cards, and for whatever production they printed that kind of color.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you is I always find it suspect when there's that many variations that they were printed in the same year. It just seems odd to me that they would keep reprinting them with different colors over the baseball season. That's such a short period of time. Do you know anything about, is
Yes.
this definitively 1931 or is it a multi-year set?
You know, we never talked about anything like we're coming up with new stuff. So it's not like but exactly. You picked up a Grover Alexander, right? Didn't you pick up a Grover Alexander?
Yeah, I don't have it in hand yet, but
okay.
it's coming.
He's it says Philadelphia Grover Alexander, right? I think
Yes.
so. Okay. So his last year was 1930.
Right.
Okay, 1930. He didn't play 31.
Right.
All right, didn't play 31. He was St. Louis 29 and 30. So was that printed? So it could be it was printed in 1930, that card, because he didn't play in 31.
Right.
And most likely, whenever they printed these things, they knew he was retired by then. So it could have been starting, that's an example of maybe it was starting to print in 1930.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of them, it says 1931. There's a card, George High Pockets Kelly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has two different issues. He's one in a Giants, what's the Giants uniform? He's one in a Brooklyn uniform in 32. He played for Brooklyn in 32. And he played for the Reds in 1930. He didn't play in 31. So there's two cards of it. So were they printed in 30? Maybe it was printed in 31, but he didn't play in 31, and he played for Brooklyn in 32, and there's a card that says Brooklyn. So it's
possible this is a 1930 to 32 issue.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Even though, like, we just did something, we could have brought this up
we could have talked about this one on our last one, yes.
So most likely, you know, they're printing different times of the year, maybe different seasons, and it just happens to be the different colors they use for those. But there's no rhyme or reason why a certain player had, you know, blue or whatever. There wasn't like that, I believe.
Yeah, so that always, when I see that, it usually indicates they were, to me, I would suspect multiple years, but I don't know that. I mean, some sets, they have multicolors in the same set kind of thing, almost like your original rainbows, right?
Sure.
So how were these distributed?
Okay,
Because I know they were hand cut. They were strip cards.
they were distributed initially. They were produced by the Exhibit Supply Company. We believe, okay, and they're the ones that do these types of exhibits over the years. You know, all the exhibits, and you had vending machines, and you put in a penny, and you pull out a card. And I read somewhere like even in the 1920s, and around the U.S. there was over 5,000 vending machines for these.
Yeah.
So this guy, I don't remember his name, but I think his last name was Meyer or something like that. He was in the printing business, and he thought, hey, you know what? I can make some money. I don't think he was a baseball fan, so he printed a lot of stuff. And obviously, he had these vending machines, a penny for one of these, and we believe now they're not where they show a machine somewhere and it prints out one or comes out one of these W517. So we don't know for a fact that's the case, but
they were hand cut strip cards, right? So
yeah,
didn't they come multiple cards?
Yeah, so there was 3 vertical strip cards.
Yeah.
And there would be a dotted line, which meant for someone, whether it's a merchant or a customer, to cut the card off, the strip. Yeah. And so some of them you see that on the top will say strikeout. So I guess they were meant to be some type of game too.
I wanted to ask you about that because it's very rare that you find the ones that say strikeout or whatever. What do you know about those? Are those way more rare?
Those are way more rare. I've only seen a few that just said strikeout. I didn't see other ones that said like out or ball or.
I'm the same way. I've only seen strikeout.
So I don't know. It might be. Okay, one way for sure they're distributed is there's a box that was found in the early, I think around in the early 2000s, a box and a complete box and with some cards with it. And what people would do, or what it was called champion draw. And in the box, on the top of the box, there would be a card sticking out. And so for a penny, you would give the merchant or whatever a penny, and you would pull out those 3 cards. And then the bottom card, it would have maybe a color. And I have one. It's the Lou Gehrig here, okay? And on the bottom, there's a pink. I believe this was supposed to be pink, okay? A pink strip. And if you had a pink strip at the bottom, then you would get a large candy bar.
Oh, wow.
If you had a green strip, you got a small candy bar. So maybe the strikeout was on some of them where you didn't get anything. I don't know if that's the case.
Man, would that be mean to do to kids?
For sure, it had to do with the strip, because there's actually, I saw an advertisement, or maybe it was part of the box that showed you, champion draw. You pull out this, you get this for 1 penny. You pull out this, you get a small candy bar. So I know for sure they were distributed one way that way, but I'm sure a lot, merchants, these people would go around, and whoever produced these cards, salespeople, hey, you want to, there's a strip of cards, you can sell them for, us to produce. I guess when I was reading the Exhibit Supply Company, they would, it was something like a half a penny a card. So maybe the other half a penny went to the merchant or whatever when they were, selling these things. So I don't know.
If they had them throughout the country in different cities, it would be possible, I guess, that, and it would be more cost effective for them to have printed them in each city they were in, rather than to print them all in one place and distribute them across the country. That could, I'm just thinking out loud here, that could account for the color differences.
Yeah, that could be true. And who knows? We're talking 1930s. Okay.
Right.
So they weren't thinking, hey, rainbow color, short print this for these things, for at least these things. They were just printing them. And whoever printed them goes, hey, you know what? We have this yellow, or we have this blue.
Yeah.
We're going to, who knows how they were, but I don't think there was any rhyme or reason to it. Basically,
Now the strikeouts I've seen are at the top,
top.
and if the bottom is what
Yeah,
dictated
so
what
I
you
don't know if
won,
that's exactly.
is it possible that was part of the card on top of it, and they
Yeah,
cut it?
I don't know because I've only seen strikeout.
Yeah,
So
but have you seen them on the bottom or the top
no,
or
I've
both?
just seen them on the top.
Me too.
Um, was it a top card? No, I don't remember. Or was it one of the middle one or the bottom one, which was, was it the actual top of the card or was one that was on the cut? It's on top of the card, but there was a card above it.
It would make sense if it was truly how you said, and you could strike out or you could win something.
Yeah,
It would make sense. It would be on the top if you couldn't see it when you pulled it.
but it could be the
Like,
bottom card on the top. The
yeah,
bottom
yeah.
card.
We don't know if they're cut, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen a complete strip with the strikeout or anything written on it.
No, but I've seen complete strips, but not with the strike.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
You
but
can go. I think
none of those.
An auction house. I think I've seen recent. I mean, they're out there. You can find a complete. But when I purchased this card here, I got this at the National, and I actually got it graded. I don't grade a lot, but I got this one graded. One, I wanted to see if it was actually real, because the guy I bought it from, he was just walking around and he was trying to sell to some dealers, and I said,
yeah,
can I see what you got? And he had like 3 of these different Lou Gehrig cards. And
you do find some of these that are so clean, you have to question.
Yes,
but
so
they seem to always grade, but some of them are cleaner.
Yes, so
and have a little bit of a different surface where they almost look fake.
There's a reprint set out there, and on the
bottom, those don't even look remotely real.
Well, for the person that doesn't know anything,
if you don't know anything,
but the reason I say that is it'll be on the bottom left. It'll be it'll have very small writing there. It says W517, and so what people would do is trim that bottom off, or scuff off the bottom. And where you really recognize this is on the back, because the back, you're going to see it white. It's going to be pretty shiny. And so you can kind of tell it's a reprint. But maybe somebody puts a backing on it, some kind of thing, if you're trying to deceive someone.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't be. It probably wouldn't be all that difficult to fake, but the problem with faking these kinds of cards is the images are not super clear to begin with. And when you make a copy of a copy, the image kind of gives it away. It becomes very grainy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've noticed that over the years with all reprints, there's just more, I don't know, you can just tell when you look at the image, it's something doesn't look right. And if you compare them next to each other, the real one, the image is just so much clearer.
Yeah. But I guess I'm not so much talking nowadays, but 10, 15, 20 years ago, when people never seen these things before, there's not Google looking up things, and somebody can really deceive someone by trimming off the bottom, that type of thing. And so but so there's a lot of
that's with the 49 leaf. They have reprint down in the bottom, and you will find the fakes. They'll erase that or put marks over there, make it look like a little paper launch or make it look like a stain, and they cover up that reprint.
Yeah.
And that's the first place you should always turn the card around and look if there's any, if you're questioning it.
Yeah. And you can go, people want to research anything like this, go on eBay and just put in W517 reprint, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. They're out there.
I do that a lot. I look at a lot of the cards the sets that are known to be reprinted. I will do that on eBay. I will search and see the reprint sets, which players are in there, what they look like, just to educate myself, really just for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Now, with this set, there's also a W517 mini.
Yes.
Mini cards. They're definitely smaller. We really don't know where these came from, or how they were distributed at all. What they are meant to be.
Are they strip cards too?
Yeah, there was.
I've been looking for one. I don't have one represented. The ones I always find are so beaten.
Yeah,
they are really hard to find in nice condition.
there's one on eBay right now, Lou Gehrig, but he wants.
I'm actually watching it, but
he's
it's
$2,500 or something like that, you know.
Yeah, and it's in pretty bad condition.
Yeah, and I think it does. It's blue, right? If I remember, I don't know, but
I don't think it's blue. I think
blue.
it's similar to these, but
okay.
I mean, it's a great card. I'd love to have it. That one's just. I don't like the condition of that enough to pay that much.
Yeah, I think that's a little steep. When
if it was 1,000 maybe, but
so you can buy. This is I believe my very first Babe Ruth card I purchased, and
and he has two. He has two different.
So he has a portrait and
a throwing.
He also has a throwing one. I seem to see the portrait more than the throwing. But when I looked at the pop reports, they're both similar, about 100 PSA, about 100 for each of them. So, but I always I see these more often for some reason. Maybe you don't, but
now that I think about it, I probably see those more often.
Okay.
I always preferred the throwing one. Growing up when I first got that card, and of course we could have gotten them so cheap back years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really cared for the image on the way he's looking there.
Sure.
And it was still a lot of money comparatively, not compared to today, but back then.
Yeah.
And so I went in the direction of some other Ruths instead, but I'd love to have those. And the fact that there's two poses, it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but again, it may point to more than 1 year issue.
Yeah, exactly. Mickey Cochran also has 2 cards in the set. There's 54 cards in the set, and 60% of them are Hall of Famers. And you can find them if you're looking for. I would say this is one of the strip cards. This is actual photo of a player. You know.
And I love that they're a little oversized because they're not too big. They're just a nice. They're just a nice size when they're
it's not a generic image or anything. It's an actual picture of a player.
Yeah, because I love the 52 and 53 tops for that reason. 56, 55. I like the little bit of the bigger cards.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something like this, you can find an example low grade like a 1 that looks presentable for maybe about $1,500. For a Ruth, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Comparable to like a Gaudi that's $6,000 or whatever, if you're looking for a plain day.
I don't see them recently for that price, Rick. Are you sure they're still that price?
$1,500? I think so.
Because the Gehrigs are going for almost $3,000, I think.
What? No.
$20-some hundred are all the ones I've seen. The one you just mentioned was $20-some hundred.
Really? Where have I been?
I think they're a little worn out. I see Babe Ruths with like paper missing across half of it. They're asking $3,000.
Do you mean I'm rich?
Not this particular one, but
I flip this.
If it has Babe Ruth on it,
should I flip it?
Yeah, you should flip it, man.
So yes, I think they're really, really cool cards. But the minis, apparently in 1996, there was 200 of them found. Some collector came out and he had 200 of them. And they were actually a strip of just 2 cards, vertical. Not 3, but 2.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how, they were. It was in Maryland, I believe, where he was the person that found these 200 cards. And to this day, I think he thinks most of them now are from that collection. So it might have been, who knows, in somebody's desk drawer. They were going to be doing, producing them for somebody, and this never came about. And,
we lose. We've lost a lot of the history of a lot of these sets as the folks that got them died off.
Yeah. So that's the. So I got, like I said, I only have two now. I sold some, but I kept the Ruth, of course, and then the Garrett. And
So I always hear people refer. I have two Melots here uh, as a rookie card. Is this a rookie card? Do I have to
I'm not,
ask Victor?
like,
Should we ask Victor?
yeah. If you do, you consider exhibit cards rookie cards? So
Oh,
maybe
here we go. All right, forget I asked.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But I think
In
even
1931, what other choice did you have?
the Mel Ott Hall of Famers, not Ruth or Garrick, or I think you get them decent price, right? You're not.
Yeah, they're pretty reasonable. I mean, some of them go for a little higher, and you do see them listed all over the place. For instance, I've seen, Rogers Hornsby listed for 1,000 or 1,100, and then I've seen them listed for 500. So, you know, and of course you got to put the grade in there too. But I'm talking lower grade threes maybe.
Sure.
So they're all over the place, but they're not impossible to find. You see them, but you don't see them necessarily everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
you never see the minis, or
No,
if you
the
do,
minis. There
are
are
four,
several on eBay right now.
but they're four
Uh,
times the amount of what.
they're very expensive, and like I said, they're pretty low grade,
Yeah,
and by low grade I mean low condition, where
sure.
they don't look so good. I'm not talking about a number on a slab. They just don't look good. They definitely don't have great eye appeal. The ones I've seen.
Yeah, I think the set. So the larger ones, the 3x4s, are 54 in a set. Apparently, the mini is only 17 in the set, and it doesn't have the Ruth, but it has the Garrick.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. We just
That's
don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I never even knew those existed until a little while ago. Never saw the minis ever until a little while ago. I think you may have introduced me to them, actually. I think you texted me one day and asked me
Yeah,
if I
yeah, I
ever
think
saw
I
the minis.
did. Hey, do you have
Yeah,
one of these, or these are
yeah.
cool? I didn't
And I'm like,
realize the
I don't
minis.
even know they exist.
And
Didn't even know that.
I've seen doing my little research. I've seen a proof of these cards, the three by
Is that
fours.
right?
Yes, and apparently on the proof, it has the image, the photo, the image. Is they would pay that little number, the circle with the number on it,
Yeah.
like 35 or whatever. They would paste that little circle on the photo, like they cut out a number and they would paste it wherever they wanted it on the photo when they made these cards.
Oh, wow.
So it
That's
said
funny.
on the proof, pasted number on photo or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I guess people were saying that you can tell reprints if they're really, really good by just looking at the number, and it shouldn't have any white dots around in the side of the circle at all.
Like under a loop or just
Under a
looking at
loop,
it straight?
under a loop.
Yeah.
So
Well,
because it was a
and that's how
pasted
you could
little
tell a
thing
lot of
on it was separate from the, when they printed it. So
yeah, and you could tell a lot of reprints that way under a loop by the dots,
yes,
how they look.
and
Yep.
you can do research. There's a ways also. I mean, like you're saying, most of them you can tell, especially the back. But if you really see something that's an expensive card, and you can do a little research, and you can find what to look for on the borders and so forth when it
Yeah,
comes
no,
to print dots.
I haven't done it with this set, but there are little techniques. Sometimes it works where you take a black light and you
Yeah,
shine it, and if it's a modern ink, it'll light up real bright.
sure.
And I've seen other guys that they'll take it and shine it in the back, and if it shines through,
Yeah,
they'll say that's fake. So there are other techniques if you want to look into it. I'm no expert on that,
sure.
on all those techniques, but I have seen them done.
But
I'm old school. I take a close look at the image, look at it just under that extra magnifying glass, and look at the dots. How the printing is. Look at the writing, the numbers, all that good stuff. Because it's on the reprints, it's always a little more blurry. You could tell a crisp printing and a blurry printing.
Yeah, yeah. And so maybe when it's sent to authentication, right? PSA, you have a raw one, they'll be able to tell right away, right?
Well, that should be what they're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it under a loop to look for those inconsistencies.
Yeah, yeah. But
so, do you have anything else on that? That was fabulous, by the way. A deep dive.
I mean, I enjoy this stuff. I'm sure you do too. I bet you most pre-war collectors love the research.
Yeah,
I just love learning.
Well, that's part. I think we all collect history, and that's part of the history. It's not just for me. It's not just the player. It's the card set itself, and that's why I'm happy to own some rare sets of lesser players. Like, it's the card set itself that I'm collecting. It doesn't have. They don't all have to be Babe Ruth cards for me.
Sure.
They don't. And man, it's way more fun to collect when you could buy them for less than Babe Ruth prices too.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I mean, I had a great time. We're at an hour now, it looks like, and
yeah,
we could
I think
we had something else, but we'll save it for next week or figure it out. So
yeah, sounds good. I think that was a good talk, and we accomplished our goal. We always try to teach something.
Yeah, and I'm always learning, man. I learned about even the exhibit supply company. I clicked on this thing and it tells you the history about it, when he started. You can go a whole different avenue,
Yeah.
Scott collects that type of stuff, and
we're all still learning. If you think you know everything about every card, I think you're probably mistaken, or just have a big ego.
You don't have one of these? I want to get one of these machines, these vending machines.
Oh, me too. Rick, I've been looking for years. They ask a lot of money for them, and the ones that are somewhat reasonable are like non-functioning and falling apart. I would love to get one as a display.
I didn't see one. Maybe I didn't look for it, but I didn't see one for sale at the National or even last year's National.
I didn't either, but how would you get it on the plane to take it?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking, okay, how am I going to ship this thing? You know what I mean? And
I think, your best bet would probably be to go to flea markets and stuff, because they had those for cowboys and actresses and everything. Unless you want, finding one in full form with the baseball players on there,
sure,
you can find them, but they're expensive.
Yeah, I remember as a kid,
$7,000.
And Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco. I remember they would have this arcade, a vintage arcade, when I was a kid. And you would have those clowns, you put it in, the clown would be doing whatever, almost a life-size clown, anything you would see in the past. And I remember seeing a exhibit vending machine in which I put in whatever it was, a penny or a nickel, whatever it was, and I got a card out of it. And it was not a small one. It was a pretty big machine.
And you don't remember what the card was?
No, I don't remember. I was like 6, 7, 8 years old or something like that.
When would that have been?
It would have been late 60s.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just
no. And I don't remember.
I
just remember
what issues would have been around that time.
I don't remember, the card itself.
Do you remember the subject of the card? Was it a baseball card?
It was a baseball card. It was a baseball exhibit card.
Could it have been a top super? Could they have distributed them that way?
No, it was because it was this whole. It was like in a warehouse type thing, right on the wharf, and right next to Joe DiMaggio's restaurant that he had there for years. And they had just vintage machines, like you would find at a circus or whatever. But
wow,
things. But one was that.
I'm drawing a blank on what that might be.
There might have been more. I mean, you were definitely, as you're 6 years old, I'm sure 7 or 8 years old, you're more into it than I was at that age. So if I saw it, I thought it would be kind of cool, but I wasn't like collecting at that age.
Right. So, I actually was.
Yeah. So you would have remembered. I just didn't remember. Who knows?
I would remember anything along those lines. I remember where I got all my cards.
I'm sure there's a lot of places, late 60s, early 70s, that probably still had those things running, because they were doing in 50s, 60s. They were having
Yeah,
those.
I'm just trying to think of what card set that could be. I know, they remade those in what, 1977 and again in
Well, it
1980,
could
but
have
I,
been.
I don't know how they were distributed in those
I
years.
mean, it could have been, something that, like I said, that was in the 50s. They just happened to still
Oh,
spit
that could
out
be too. It could have been a leftover. It could have been an
leftovers.
exhibit that they had sitting around from years prior, maybe.
If it was now there, that somebody would just be walking down the street taking it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Oh,
anyway, that's a whole
we got to go
different
down the
thing.
rabbit hole. We have some investigation to do there, Rick.
There we go. There we go. But I remember it being a larger than what you would typically see, like a cash register size. It was larger than that. But I don't, who knows?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't real. Well, it couldn't have been that big. I'll have to think
Again,
about it.
I just remember that. That's all I remember is seeing. But
All right. Well,
hey, all right.
thanks
So
for jumping on again, everybody. Thanks for watching. Rick, give us your close.
this is Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards. Bye.
I got to go.